Hello, welcome back to another episode of Souvenir in Paris. We start off with that pastry school recap, same as always. On the menu this week we have savarins, and honestly I was not a fan. They're very pretty. And then we had the dakwa, which actually took the living soul out of me. So honestly I had to get dinner after. And this place was actually really good. Then I went to the gym and no one told me the peak time was going to be 9 p.m. Had a midweek day off, so went to catch up with one of my friends who was leaving back to Hong Kong because she was finished with her course. We went to La Mediterranée and it was really nice seafood. And I finally got to try the butter, radish and baguette combo, and surprisingly really tasty. We got the bouillabaisse and the codfish de chair. If you're looking for a good quality but cleanish type food, this is definitely your place. It was a rainy day. We headed over to A.Simon, which is the culinary student's dream. The Cordon Bleu students actually get a discount here, so we were here to buy some tart molds and tart rings before I went home. Despite Paris being an expensive place to live, I realized that pastry items are actually cheaper here. On my walk home, I spotted Pedone, which is a really hype spot at the moment. They do gelato, but they can put it in brioche, or this one is the tiramisu, topped with fresh mascarpone, coffee, and cocoa powder. Honestly, it's a dream. It's been a rainy week, so I've really been relishing being at home. These are called religious nuns because they look like little nuns. They were filled with coffee cream and they were phenomenal, if I may say so myself. Once Friday hit, I was straight off to the airport and on my way to a different continent. This was my first time flying Air France, and this may be the saddest in-flight meal I've had, but it was fine. Just a 3-hour flight and we were in Marrakesh. And look who came out to pick me up. This was honestly the cutest little welcome. Our Airbnb was a walkable distance from the airport, and obviously this dog was our local guide. The Airbnb was questionable and there was this rooster that kept crowing every hour.
Is that the goddamn rooster? Oh my god, it is.
It's the fucking chicken.
Someone eat him.
Oh,
no, for you.
I dare to
Hey,
pull
it's
out.
him. Our local tour guide. Hi, buddy.
But it was fine because we started our tour at 7 a.m. Going on tour. Where are we going? Sahara Desert. Yes! So we booked this tour on Get Your Guide. I'll put the link in the description below. Our first stop was driving through the Atlas Mountains. This is right before the highest point. The elevation is about 2,260 meters above sea level. And I just love seeing the clouds sit on top of the mountains. Hello! So we made it to about an hour into our journey. We're doing a little rest stop at this cute little cafe. We are high up in the mountains at the moment. So we're passing through the Atlas Mountains first. It is a lot greener than I expected. I thought it's going to be like desert from the get-go, but it's actually really lush and green, beautiful. It's quite cold, and you can actually see in the back, you can actually see the clouds kind of sitting on top of the mountain, which is really cool. Back on the road before we stopped for lunch. So this was a 3-day, 2-night tour into the Sahara and back. There was about 18 people with us in the van, and there was a driver who was also our tour guide. And we met local guides along the way. It is a long car ride, but they do stop pretty frequently. So every hour and a half to 2 hours, you get a chance to stretch your legs. So it's either a rest stop, or you're getting lunch, or you're getting out to visit a site. This was Eit Ben Haddou. This is one of my favorite sites of the whole trip. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It used to be like a village, it's fortified. Not many people live here anymore, but it's a big tourist site, but also a lot of movies are filmed here. We got to go inside one of their traditional homes. We were served mint tea, which was so tasty, by the way. Keep watching to find out why it tastes so good. And we were shown the magic trick of Sahara. So they used tea and turmeric and basically to make invisible ink. And when it's heated, you'll see that new details appear on the painting. And this was how they used to make secret maps for where they used to bury their gold and all their valuables. This place was pretty otherworldly and it was amazing to see. At the end we were taken to this little shop where we could buy stuff for the Sahara Desert, so scarves and clothes if we need. And we were back on the road. We did a quick photo stop here. This is the Hollywood of Africa.
This is Atlas Studios. That one's Return of the Mummy set there. All the way over here they still own all this land, and they also have this fake castle. So this castle apparently is made from rocks and what is it? Rocks and random stuff. Gypsum.
We also did some random river crossings, and we arrived at our hotel for the night. I'm not gonna lie, after that Airbnb I was a little bit scarred and wasn't expecting much, but this hotel was actually really nice. So the tour includes breakfast and dinner. Lunch is paid yourself, but you know, they do take you to the lunch place. So being the good Asian kids we are, we decided to practice how to do the headscarf. And this essentially is to keep the sand away from your nose and your mouth, but also because the air is so dry, we don't want to dry out any of those areas.
Why do we have these like little
This is day 2 of the desert tour. We just woke up, we had some breakfast, got ready, and we're leaving at 9 o'clock. This is the view from our room. Very nice. So today we're going actually into the desert. So the van will take us to a certain point, and then onwards from that we need to take some camels to the actual campsite, which is going to be pretty cool, but it's going to be a long camel ride in the sun. So we've gotten all our gear ready. You saw us practice our what they call the Saharan passport. First stop of day 2 was Todja Gorges, where we saw these beautiful, huge canyons.
I don't know. I wouldn't try, but
Gonna try it?
but it looks really clean.
Made it to the gorges. It's so pretty. The water looks so clean.
Drink it.
Drink it.
So this used to be a hotel, but it's now shut down because of falling rocks and it's too dangerous. But man, staying here would have been absolutely gobsmacking. And then all back in the van so that we can go to this nearby city. We literally got out of the van and we started walking into the side of the bridge. And it brought us to this beautiful farm. I was just so surprised on how lush everything was. I wasn't expecting to see so much greenery in the Sahara. Well, on our way to the Sahara. Then at a rest stop, we got to this little city, which apparently in season they have the biggest rose fields.
It's so green. So beautiful.
They make lots of perfumes, rose oils, rose waters, etc. And on the car ride, we got to see so many different types of terrains. It just reminded me of Xinjiang in China. This was our last stop for lunch before we were entering the Sahara Desert. So thankfully the guide offered to do our headscarves for us, thank God, because we weren't very good.
But we were like not sure if it's gonna stay on. It's very tiny. I like it.
It should be.
Yes.
Honestly, it was so tight. I had to loosen it a little bit because I was starting to get a headache. At this stop, it was kind of the last chance to go to the bathroom and buy some water before we went into the Sahara Desert on a camel. You leave all your belongings in the van and you just pack an overnight bag, which you leave at this base camp, and a jeep will take it in for you to the desert camp.
Ready. Yalla.
Habibi.
Oh, and that water over there, that's actually not real, that's a mirage. This is that same area when we're up close. So we all got into the car and we arrived at the camel airport. This ain't my first camel ride, but it was definitely the longest camel ride. I've been to the Dubai desert twice. I've been to the desert in Perth. I've been to the desert in China. This was probably the most expansive, most Windows wallpaper-like desert I've ever seen. And in the corner you can see those black birds in a huge spiral. That was really cool but kind of creepy. And guys, always thank your camel. Now they stopped us in the middle of the desert so that we can watch the sunset and some free time to do some sand tobogganing or a paid option to do some ATV riding.
Oh, this is great. What is like in I am sand at this point. It's the climb. I hate walking in sand.
Well, we got a lot of walking to do.
Hey.
Hello.
Oh my god. Like, I don't think you can see on camera how steep this damn thing is.
Doesn't do it justice. I think so.
Go on, Leslie. Alright. Oh, the sand is so soft near here. So it's like even harder. And it's the most steepest part as well.
Hey. But then, yeah, we just sat there and soaked in this stunning view.
Rolling down the boulevard, sun hitting my shades. Riding low and slow, this vibe never fades. Palm trees dancing in the hazy sunlight glow. West Coast rhythm,
Oh my god!
flow. Cruising, grooving,
This is so fun.
funky breeze. Talk about the city, set my spirits at ease. When the hills to the shore, ain't no second guessing. In these valley streets, we
Jump.
count every
Oh my god!
Go so far.
Yeah. Oh! Oh, my feet hurt from like how much sand is in these shoes.
My feet are broken, but that's okay.
My feet are like,
Yeah, I might take a bit of the sand.
my toes can't like stretch out properly because of how
I'm so
much
sad.
sand there is. Look
Whoa.
at the bottom of my shoe.
Oh wow.
The whole damn shoe.
Wait for this.
So this is
Oh,
how
yes.
parents spend their free time. We got to our desert camp at nightfall, and this was our tent. It had kind of like a mud hut wall and then a tent top, and there were 4 single beds. I'm not gonna lie, if I were to do this again, there was a luxury camp option with your own bathrooms. I would probably do that again. To be fair, we were only staying until 4 a.m. because we were going to go see the sunrise, so it wasn't too much of a deal, but yeah, it was humbling. But yeah, the stray cat that wandered through our tent was actually really adorable. I know, probably not the most hygienic, but I'd given up on that by then. And if you walked a few steps away from camp, which is totally safe, you could see some beautiful stars. And before we knew it, we had to get up to go see the sunrise. We're on our way to see the sunrise. So back on our camels. I'm not sure if you can see them, but Jen and Leslie are behind me and Fiona's in front. I think your camel just farted. Oh, that smell. Yes. It's just saying hello. Then we started the longest journey back. It was about 9 hours in total, but we did stop quite a bit along the way. There were lots of convenience store stops, and we even got to try some local dates. They drop you off and pick you up at your hotel or very close by to your hotel. So before we knew it, we were already in Marrakesh. And of course, if you're in Marrakesh, please stay in a riad. They're so beautiful and a completely different experience. So we didn't actually have that much time in Marrakesh. We got back from the tour about 6 p.m. and our flight was 7 p.m. the day after. So we only had that night and the day after up until we needed to go to the airport.
This is our room. Oh wow. Wow, we got an upstairs. This is the bathroom.
We made it to our com after a 9-hour drive, and then Fiona's up the top there. Hello! And then we've got Leslie, who's not feeling too well. And then we got Jen, who's having tummy time. They're so cute! So we are off to, I'm not even going to try and pronounce it, that night food market. So it's just me, Fiona and Jen. So we walked to Gemma El Fna, which is the big night market for food. The food vendors were actually the most aggressive, so watch out for that. The pomegranate juice was the first of many juices we've got. I tried it in Dubai before. I always love it because it's really tart, but all the other juices were super refreshing. We went to this store for the harira, which is actually a bean soup, but they also had roast meats, which they recommended, so we tried it. Look, it was good, but nothing crazy, not necessarily a must-eat, I'd say, and it was a little bit overpriced for what we got. I'm normally not an olive person, but the olives here were actually really good. This sandwich stall, on the other hand, I'd say is a must-try. There's a lot of them in the market. Take your pick, but it is fresh, it is flavorful, you won't regret it. And of course, these donuts. Now, if you see them, get them. Try and get them fresh. This was not too sweet. You can actually get them without the sugar-coated as well, but it is chewy, it's hot, it's mochi-like. I loved it. This is definitely one of the best things I ate in Marrakesh. Another classic thing to do here is to either go to a rooftop bar or a restaurant where you can sit and enjoy the sunset, and then of course go exploring in the souks up till late at night. Going out for breakfast! Your face is so bright. Come here.
I'm soothing colored
Oh, so rude. Hello, Hossie. We're gonna try and get some. I'm not even gonna say it. Breakfast, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Good morning. Well, we were meant to have breakfast at the hotel, but like literally no one was there.
You ring the bell 3 times.
Yeah, we rang the bell 3 times. Fiona tried to call them. I feel like that's the craziest part, like the fact that we called and they didn't reply. So yeah, breakfast was included in our thing, but we didn't get it. Oh well, but hopefully we find some good market food. We started off strong with this A.Simon. Once again, we didn't really have a specific spot we were going to. We just kind of saw where the locals were the most crowded in the morning, and this did not disappoint. They were made to order, you can choose different flavors, but keep in mind the seating is limited and the tables are kind of tiny.
Fatty prevention mechanisms. So we got the bread with the cheese and also the Nutella, tomato and eggs.
Riche.
So this is the griche and the cheese. I definitely recommend the griche over the cheese. A griche is like a caramelized preserved meat, and it gives a really savory kind of salty flavor to the bread. The cheese, I was expecting like a cheese naan type of situation, but it was more like a kiri cream cheese type of paste. Now these were like the unhealthy sister of Turkish eggs. It was boiling, hot, sizzling eggs in oil with like tomato based kind of flavor, and this was one of the best things we had as well. It was just so tasty. After this big meal, we just kind of walked around, explored the markets. We were wondering whether those turtles were to eat. Marrakesh is known for their leather goods and also like their ceramics as well, so those are the main things people buy. We couldn't get tickets to Le Jardin Secret, which is where Yves Saint Laurent lived, but we got this ticket to the Le Jardin Secret instead, which a lot of people said was kind of like an alternative. Honestly, I don't think it's worth your
just like goes
money
on
and
forever.
time going. It was pretty and it was a good place to rest,
top
but honestly, the garden was kind of meh. We went up to the cafe and got a really refreshing aloe drink and kind of rested our legs. And we sat there and decided whether we had time to go to a hammam or not.
Whoa. It's like, feels like it doesn't taste like anything at first, but then like the aftertaste is like so refreshing.
For lunch, we went to Chez Lamine. They actually team up with a restaurant which provides seating for them. And this was some of the best lamb. So essentially the lamb is roasted in this underground oven. They roast the whole lamb and you can kind of pick which part you want. And just look at how juicy and fatty this lamb is. It was so tender, so flavorful, and you get a little bit of cumin salt on the side so you can dip your lamb into
Not a
it.
block, but a brick of sugar.
No wonder the mint tea here tastes so good.
I don't think you actually have to eat at this restaurant to get to actually apply for a different store. Oh. But they don't have seating. Yeah. Why do you think they need so many people like in here? I feel good. Oh, chippies. Good, but it balances out the chippies themselves are meh. Balances out the fat.
After lunch, we went to Ben Yusuf Madrasa, which is a former college. Built in the 14th century, it's now a UNESCO heritage site, but it was once the largest Islamic college in Marrakesh. Tickets need to be bought at the entrance. The earlier you go, apparently there's less people. We still went in the middle of the day. It wasn't too bad. Definitely worth the visit. The architecture is stunning, and there is this little information video on how they restored the area, which is crazy to watch.
He's too tall for this country.
And then we went to our hammam appointment. Miss Lala is conveniently located close to Ben Yusuf, so keep that in mind when you're booking. And it was about a 5-minute walk. We went into this beautiful space. We were serenaded, we were given snacks and tea, and then we got prepped for our hammam. So a hammam is kind of like a traditional spa. It's similar to daemiri in Korea, where they will strip you down and scrub the dead skin off your body. You walk out feeling like a baby. But if that's not for you, then they also have more relaxing like facials and massage options. But I'd say it's definitely worth experiencing at least once in your life.
Perfect. This is us before the hammam. This is us after the hammam.
Before we knew it, it was time to go home. We took a taxi to the airport. I would have killed for that pineapple, but we had no cash left. Thanks so much for coming on this little adventure with me, and I'll see you next week in Spain.